everybody, happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you are having an amazing weekend. It is supposed to be nice this weekend. I am recording this on the Tuesday before it goes out. As you can see, the ground is wet. There is a chicken at my feet. If you want to see more from the chickens, obviously go watch my chicken and garden report. But hopefully by the time this goes live, it's a nice weekend. So if you're in the Pacific Northwest, I hope you are enjoying some rare sun. We are now very much into election cycle here in the Pacific Northwest, very much into the election cycle in the US as a whole. And I know that there are many other places around the world where new leaders are being chosen through varying degrees of democracy. Take from that what you will. But I've been thinking a lot lately about politicians and the metaphorical throwing of people under the bus. Politicians have to compete with one another for the interests of the voting public. And they have to say and do things that will make the voting public like them. And we've seen it a lot in the last decade, and in fact for longer, that electric vehicles are often used as either a carrot or a stick to curry favour with the voting public. We have seen former President Donald Trump and presidential candidate Donald Trump say some pretty nasty things about electric vehicles and the people who drive them. He was recently talking on a campaign trail about how he felt that all vehicles that were not made in the US, particularly electric vehicles, should be tariffed at 100%. And said that there would be a bloodbath about it. A lot of people are misquoting it in the news, and it will be a bloodbath has often been, I feel, misattributed to a statement about political ramifications if he doesn't get into office again. But I think based on his conversation and how it kind of trailed off, I think he was actually talking about it will be a bloodbath in the American auto industry if electric vehicles are allowed to continue or allowed to be made overseas and imported to the US. But given that he often doesn't appear to know what in his mind at any point, who am I to guess at what he really meant? But what we do see a lot of is politicians promising they're going to do big things for clean technology and green vehicles. President Biden has promised lots in the past on electric vehicles. He's delivered some of those things. But we've also seen lots and lots of times over the last however many years where a politician has promised they're going to do something only to then not do it, only to, as I say, throw a group of people or a particular policy under the metaphorical bus in order to curry favour. We're seeing it in Europe, we've seen it in North America, we've seen it all around the world. And so today, the question I have for you is this. Can politicians be trusted when it comes to electric vehicle promises? We have seen many, many electric vehicle promises. We're going to make the world cleaner, greener. We're going to mandate that so many percent of vehicles are all electric by a certain time. There's a chicken, in case you didn't see it. We're going to require that automakers stop polluting and all of this stuff. But then when it comes down to the crunch, very often automakers are pushing back. Very often political opposition pushes back, and those things get watered down. We saw it a couple of weeks ago with the US EPA changing its angle of attack for zero emission mandates and electric vehicle transition. The end goal hasn't changed, but the ramp up at which they're expected to automakers that is, are expected to produce a certain number of EVs has changed. It used to be a lot steeper than it currently is going to be. And many people take that as promises were broken, goals were changed. That means we can't trust politicians. Other people would look at it and go, the circumstances were against the politician. We have to give them some, leeway. It'll all be okay in the end. And I'm really curious as to where you fit in on that particular line. Personally, I'm feeling a little bit more of we need to hold politicians' feet to the fire to make sure that lobbyists and companies with large checkbooks, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, don't actually get in and start whispering in the ears of elected officials with the end goal of either slowing down EV adoption or just stopping it altogether. And if we go back to President Biden, obviously I live in the US, so that's why I've picked this. Despite President Biden's government doing a whole lot to encourage EVs, and we've seen some great moves towards EV adoption, we also have to acknowledge that the United States is now drilling and exporting more oil and producing more oil than it has in a really, really long time. In fact, than at any point in history. So we have to be able to kind of balance those two facts out, right? On one side, politicians is doing great things for EVs and EV mass adoption. On the other hand, we're seeing a lot of support being given, whether it's intentional or unintentional, to the oil industry, because we're seeing this massive EV production and drilling. So that is my question for you. Can we trust politicians in this election cycle, in election cycles around the world, when they say they're going to support EVs? How do we make sure that they actually follow through with those promises? How do we keep them honest to those promises? And how do you evaluate whether a politician has been honest to those promises, or if there has truly been a change beyond their control, which does sometimes happen, that from the outset, from the outside, might appear that they're changing their mind or reneging on promises, when in reality, they have had no other choice. Again, in the US, one question there, the balance of power on Capitol Hill has been very trying for the last couple of years, and it doesn't matter if there is a politician in the White House from one party, if the opposition are controlling some or all of the other parts of government, it can cause some headaches. Anyway, I don't want to go into a poli-sci lecture, so let's leave it at that. And I hope that you have a great week. If you are celebrating Easter, I hope that you have a wonderful Easter. If you are celebrating other things, I hope you are having a great time too. And I'll see you next week. Thanks for joining me today, and if you've got thoughts, make sure you leave them below in our Discord chat room, or you can reach out to us on Mastodon. Thanks to the amazing list of people scrolling by on your screen right now. They are some of the more than 1,500 people that help make this channel possible by funding it through Patreon and YouTube, covering our bills, paying our team, and making sure we can be 100% independent. If you'd like to join them and see your name listed here, just follow the links below. There are a range of different tiers you can sign up for, from as little as $1 a month, or if you pay yearly, $10.08 a year. A massive welcome to our newest supporters, Ralph Koenig, Mr. Eldritch, Dwayne Adiger, and Corey Singletray. To join our list and get your shout out, become a paid Patreon member for your week of fame. If you'd like to support us with a one-off donation, you'll also find links below to make Ko-fi and Bitcoin donations, and we even have an old-fashioned PO box you can reach us at. The address is listed below. And of course, if you're in need of some swag, you'll find our swag store link in the down below as well. This month, we are celebrating Wrangling EV FUD with a fantastic t-shirt design by our in-house artist and animator, Erin. Get yours today by heading to our Redbubble store. We've got some great content coming up, so make sure you're subscribed on PeerTube or YouTube, and we'll see you soon. We make new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you want more, the mighty algorithm thinks you'll like this video, but we also think that this one is well worth a look. See you soon, and as always, keep evolving.